It was a bit slow coming, but we're back today with Shawna and Mar from Sunset Watersports. They've been in business since 2016 and are fundraising to assist with the purchase of adaptive water sports equipment that leaves no one behind. Both Mar and Shawna have their boating licenses and first aid. Mar is a certified water sports and adaptive water sports coach. SWS is looking to offer programs free to groups and individuals who cannot afford their services. You need to know these people because they're all about the greater good. So let's dig in. I'm Maverick Judson from MJ Interactive, and you are watching and listening to my video podcast series called The Emo Incident, where I interview the amazing people in and around my hometown of Emo, Ontario, Canada. Yes, it exists. No, we're not famous. And quit trying to copy us. Okay, so we're finally ready here to go. Sunset Watersports here with me. They were good enough to take me out on their boat, so I got a little bit of boat hair. But we're all looking good still, so it's all good. I'm happy that we finally got to sit down. The rain seems to have subsided, and we're just hoping that it's going to keep heading to the south of us here and just overpass us. So this is my podcast. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'll just, you know what? I'll just start with the super easy questions. I got some stuff for both of you, and you guys can probably play off each other anyways. So the first one I got is tell me about each of your backgrounds leading up to the discovery of Sunset Watersports.
Ladies first.
Okay. Well, we've been friends our entire lives. He is the water sports enthusiast. So about 7 years ago, he got us out on the boat and taught my niece how to wakeboard. And then it kind of progressed from there. And he's just a natural as a coach and just helping people and motivating people to do water sports. And I was like, you need to do this more often. This needs to be a business. And he was like, oh, no, I'm not really good with that paperwork kind of stuff. And then, so about 2 years, we just kind of 1st of July and stuff would do tubing and stuff at the point for free for people. And then people got more interested in it. And then finally, for fun almost, we decided to try and do a business plan and submit it to see if we could get funding. And then we were approved. And yeah, it's kind of history from there. And 4 years later, this will be our 4th summer.
Yeah.
And we will be branching out into adaptive water sports. So
Wonderful. The other side of the story.
Well, again, I'm self-taught. I've been doing water sports since I was probably about, I think I was 15 the first time I put on a kneeboard. I've rode like tabletops, everything else. It's all fun, right? Mm-hmm. And then from there, the first time kneeboarding, I ended up teaching everyone that was at the beach how to do it because I was the first guinea pig up. So I love teaching. It doesn't matter if it's water sports, mechanics, anything. I'll teach anything I know. I love it. But yeah, I was teaching her niece's friends how to blast. She's like, let's do a business of it, and here we are.
Awesome.
She pretty much covered everything.
the paperwork wasn't that easy. It was like a 26-page business proposal, but
that's all her.
And you don't know a thing about it?
Nope. Again, I can't read or write very well, so I maintain all the equipment. I'm the coach. I don't
driver.
know. I do pretty much everything physical, and she does all the paperwork and that.
You know, we were talking about this earlier about just knowing your strengths, so there you go.
Yeah.
That's a perfect partnership. You just know where you each stand and where you got to play the game.
Well, again, 42 years we've known each other, so for the record, we're not dating. We're just very good friends.
No.
Yeah.
You guys get asked that a lot, don't you?
All the time.
All the
We
time.
fight like we're married, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We fight like we're married because we've known each other 42 years, right? So you kind of get to know a person over 42 years.
Oh, of course. So that actually leads right into my next question here, because you guys talk about knowing each other for so many years. Would you say that there's some kind of secret to that kind of a relationship and being partners in a business like this?
I think like the fact that we know each other so well, I think that's really made this whole situation better. Like, we're family, right? And we also know, like, how to help the other person, what the other person's strengths are, and how to kind of build them up. But you also kind of know if the other one's having a bad day, like you know what
Step
to do
away.
just to kind of let them have their time. And then, like you said earlier, like we really build on each other's strengths, like, and we know each other, we know each other's families, and like pretty much know each other. Like, I don't know, I don't think anyone knows me as well as you do. Like, and so even if I'm not here, he can kind of speak on my behalf and vice versa. Like,
Yeah. Like our moms were each other's moms. Like our families are literally families. Her niece is kind of like a daughter to me. Like our family, like her brother's a brother to me. Like, it's amazing how close you can become with someone that's not family.
and I think like because we are so close, we know each other so well, like it's so easy to be honest with each other. Like there's no secrets, or there might be, I don't think there is, but it's so like if yeah, like if you can tell each other anything and not be afraid of the repercussions. Like we fight, like I said, we will fight and we will argue, but you know that tomorrow it's going to be like forgiven. Like we've never gotten to like a huge argument that we've never, clearly we still talk to each other, but you can be honest and open. And I think that's the best part of the business and the partnership is that like no one's trying to hide anything from anyone. Like we are very open and honest and can work through just about anything.
Now, here's a question. Is there a distinct separation between when it's time to talk business or time to just goof off? Or is there like a signal or?
Unfortunately, it just pops up whenever, like we'll be in the middle of goofing around, talking about random stuff, then out of nowhere it's, oh, by the way, we got to take care of this.
Yeah,
like,
and you guys can transition
oh yeah, we pop
flawlessly.
back and forth, no problem
There
with that.
is,
Yeah.
if he's ready to start talking business again, or he doesn't want to argue anymore, he'll be like, anyways, and that's generally
that's the word.
that is, and
the
that's
safe
generally
word.
how I know I'm winning the argument is when he no longer wants to argue. He'd be like, anyways, and he'll kind of do this hand thing, and then I'd be like, I won. And
Well,
then
if
we'll
I
move
don't
on.
do that, you just kind of ramble on.
So who
I am
wins
petty.
the most in these kind of? I didn't actually see that coming. I thought it was for sure just going to be her.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, he's stubborn. He doesn't back down.
I'm Polish, of course I'm stubborn.
He doesn't let me win arguments. I win arguments based on validation and
Oh, really?
knowledge.
Oh, here we go. Now
Here we go.
I just started another one. So here's another question for you. What would be your ideal client and why?
Ideal client?
I somehow knew that you were going to be the one to answer that one.
Everyone.
Everyone?
There is not an ideal client. If they're
Inclusion.
willing to learn, if they're willing to give me their time to learn, I'll teach them whatever it is. If it's as simple as driving a boat, let's go. I have no problem showing anyone anything. I love the smiles on their faces when they get something for the first time. The feeling of accomplishment. Like, everyone's like, well, it must be great for the students to learn so much. Well, it's great for me too, because I get to see that. I get to witness it. I get to be a part of it. So
Who do
later
you think
on,
feels better at the end of the day, you or them, from the experience?
I think it's equal.
Yeah.
I honestly do. Like, I go home, ask her, I go home and I got a big smile on my face. I'm talking about, remember when this person did this or this person got that? Did you see the smile on this person's face? Like,
When you see those kids out there, are you wishing that you were doing what they're doing, or are you happy doing that? That's where you want to be.
I am
you want to
in
be
my
on the steering
happy place.
Yeah. Okay.
I love teaching. I honestly do. Don't get me wrong. Anyone that knows me, if I get a chance to ride, I'm riding. I love to ride. But teaching, it's just, I know that knowledge is going to get passed on to them and hopefully to their kids and keep on going, right? Like, if I can pass something down, I want to. Like, I enjoy that.
That's awesome.
It's almost like a proud parent moment, like when your child accomplishes something for the first time. Like our business, like, you know, we like the boat, right? It's like, even though we're not together, it's like our baby, right? And so you get so proud, like when someone accomplishes something for the first time, you take such pride in that, knowing that you helped someone get that far. And we even, probably about 2-3 years ago, we had this lady show up with her grandchildren, and we were doing tubing at the point, and she's like, how much to go for a boat ride. And I'm like, well, we don't charge for that. I said, we're just doing tubing. And she's like, well, she was like 67 years old, and she lived on the lake. She was lived on a remote reserve, and she lived there her entire life and was always afraid of the water, never been in a boat. Her 2 grandchildren had never been in a boat. So he was out with the Mastercraft, and a friend of ours was driving the Bayliner. And so I said, well, when they come back, I'll introduce you to Ben. You can sit. And so he took them out and got them life jackets. And they came back, and she was crying. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is a bad experience. And she's like, can I hug you? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, that was the most amazing thing I've ever experienced. She's like, I can't believe what I've been missing my entire life. And the fact that she got to experience that with her grandkids, and that just like melted my heart. The fact that we could help someone, like we take advantage of the fact that we've lived here our entire lives.
Yeah.
Like we've gone fishing, we've gone, pontooning, we've gone tubing. We do all of this stuff on a regular basis, and we've grown up this way, but so many people don't get to experience any of this. And something as simple to us as a boat ride just changed this woman's life and her grandchildren's life. So it was just amazing.
Makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it?
We have a lot of cases like that. We had one lady that was almost dumped off the back of her uncle's boat, and when she was getting in our boat, she was crying. She was terrified to get in a boat. Mm-hmm. By the end of it, she was dancing around, walking around, laughing, having a great time. Mm-hmm. We've had a gentleman that has actually drowned and is scared of the water. He wouldn't get on the dock without a life jacket. By the end of it, he was sitting with his wife, no life jacket, enjoying the scene, everything else. Like, I love taking the time and making sure everyone's enjoying it and learning and going forward, right? Yeah. I want to make those memories for people. I want to make them have a memory that they'll cherish.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love it. So what is the ideal, most perfect day on the lake? How would you describe that? Whether it's the weather or just...
Well, tonight is like perfect conditions.
A little cool, but the water's butter, which we love because you can teach dang near anything on it. A little warmer, no bugs. Mm-hmm. I want to hear laughter. I want to hear screaming. I want to hear people teasing each other.
You want to hear it all.
Yeah. I love when people get in the boat. Well, I'm going to get up before you will, or I got there
then
before
you know you got a good group.
Exactly.
It's good chemistry.
They start feeding off each other. Like last year, we did Pass the Handle, and it's where we actually take out a group of people that have never done water sports, mm-hmm. and we take them out for free and teach them how to do it. We had a group last year, they got in the boat, and they're an amazing group. Mm-hmm. They got in the boat, and they're not talking. They're just kind of sitting to each other, not knowing what to say. By the end of it, they're screaming, cheering each other on, having a great time. And that's what I love, like making those moments, right?
Well, and strangers become friends in the boat.
Yeah.
Like everyone comes and we've seen so many kids, and we've had so many parents actually say to thank us because their child has come out of their shell, right? They've been, this child who's really shy and, doesn't have a lot of friends. And like I said, we encourage them. And Mar, he's great with people and he really encourages them and he gently pulls them out of their shell, right? Mm-hmm. And so they come and even being in the tube, like if there's one person by themselves and we're like, okay, well, would you be okay if they go in a tube with you? So now you're trusting these other 2 people in this tube, mm-hmm. and then, there's 6 or 7 people in the boat, and by the end of it, everyone's become friends. And, even when we do events on the beach, like you have your regulars and then you see them chatting, and so the friendships kind of build from all of these things that we're doing. So the lake is a community. Yeah. Like it's its own little community, and like you said, we wave to people, and I actually found out the real reason you wave to people. I thought it was just to be nice, but you're always looking out for other people, and
well, when you're on the lake, again, like I said earlier, you break down, you're relying on hopefully someone going by. Otherwise, you're getting off that boat, you're kicking, and hopefully getting to shore. Mm-hmm. So, a simple wave lets you know that someone else out there has your back. Someone's, watching out for you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the lake. I'm a water rat through and through.
Yeah.
I can't say that enough.
That's awesome. So I was thinking, you must have some favorite spots out in the lake, or do you got a secret spot?
Honestly, right here next to us, right here in the bay.
Right in the bay, but by the sorting gap here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The reason
is this where you do a lot of the?
We try to. We're mindful because there'll be other boaters, there'll be kayakers, stuff like that. If they're around fishermen, we stay clear. We don't want we don't want our good experience making a bad experience for someone else. We want everyone to enjoy the lake. We don't want to own the lake. We don't want to take it over. We don't want to be a nuisance out there. We want people to be encouraging us to go out there.
So for those of you who are might be listening to the audio on the podcast here, we're just sitting out at Rainy Lake by the Sorting Gap Marina in Fort Francis. He's just talking about the bay where they launched the boat in there. So
Hi, I'm Hannah Anderson. I'm going in to record a song with MJ Interactive once again. When I go in there, Mav makes it so easy, and he just makes I feel so comfortable there. So usually what happens is I message Mav, and then I tell him about the song that I want to do, and he says his input on it, and then we agree on what we think will be good. I usually take a week to practice to make sure that it's clean and sharp before I come into the studio and record with Maverick. I tried recording by myself at home, but it never worked out. I wanted it more done professionally, like Maverick does it. I'm not really afraid to make any mistakes because I know that they can easily be fixed by Maverick. The best part of this all is sharing the music with everyone. Sometimes it's done the night of. It started with one recording, and then I've been back several times after.
to book studio time with MJ Interactive, call now 705-557-9894. That's 705-557-9894. MJ Interactive. Make your vision a reality.
But right there, I love it just because every time we're there, people line up on the shore. They'll sit there and watch us.
People with cameras.
I guess that's a really good marketing plug for you, hey?
Well, honestly, yeah, it is. But to me, I love that people are enjoying what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like we've had strangers, complete strangers, cheering on the people that are riding behind the boat, and I love that. Like it brings Fort Francis, the community, back to itself, and it gives you hope for the future, right?
Yeah.
It shows that people care about complete strangers. So I love setting up there, but again, we try to be mindful because we do have the United States right there. We don't want to wreck their day. We don't want to wreck anyone's day. We want everyone to enjoy the day.
We had someone
100%.
contact us last year, actually, and they're like, are you running on Saturday? And I'm like, yeah, did you want to book something? And she's like, actually, we're getting married. And I'm like, oh, I'm still thinking, hey, you want to be in the boat? They were getting married just on the other side of the river, and they were getting married on the dock. And they're like, your boat's kind of big, and you make waves. And I'm like, I am so sorry. And she's like, no, like, it's all good. She's like, but we're going to have like 50 people out on the docks, and we don't want to swamp them. And I'm like, okay, like what time is, and it was actually past the handle day. And so we like putted by, and then, we got out here, and then same with on the way back, we like putted by, but like they just messaged and then ended up calling, and I'm like, okay, this is the timeline. We made sure that we were making waves for them, and like we want everyone
best friends forever.
And they were appreciative, and we're appreciative. Like I said, we don't want anyone.
And that's the thing, if someone contacts us and says, hey, we're doing something here, do you mind if you have anything booked? Pick a different venue, that's fine. We'll move. Like this past weekend, we had kayakers just outside of the Point Park in front of the beach there. And we noticed them. I'm like, hey, sorry, we're going to move. And they were like, no, we want waves. Like it was complete opposite, right? So, but we want to work with everyone. We don't want hard feelings. We don't want, we wreck someone's day. If we're out there and you think that we might wreck your day, or we're going to, anything, give us a message and just say, hey, if that's you guys out there, do you mind moving somewhere else? We'll move. We have no problem with it. Like, we want everyone to enjoy the lake.
Yeah. So I got a game to play.
Not it.
You might have to be a little bit creative with you, but I made sure I chose some words that I knew that you'd have an answer to just by what I knew about you. So I'm going to go kind of back and forth here. So we'll start with you. And what I want you to do is I'm going to give you a word and just define that word in your own words.
Okay.
Your own definition of that word, what that word means to you, basically. Okay? So passion.
Passion. Well, that's a strong one. Like, it's just your heart's into it, and it just makes you happy. And it's something that you want to share with others. And I think something like for what we do, I think you have to have a passion for water sports. You have to have that passion to help other people. So it's something that's inside of you that you can't really, it's hard to pinpoint, but it's something that you want to share and something you care deeply about and something that you love.
Mm-hmm. I love it. 100%. You guys are super easy to interview because you just rattle it off so quick. So for you, mission.
Mission? Okay, every time I go out, I have a mission to get everyone that wants to try something to get up, to achieve their goals. Realistic goals. I've had people that want to jump wake to wake the first time. Well, we got to slow it down and do a few steps. But
baby steps.
My mission every time I hit the lake is meet their goals.
Yeah. Get them out of their comfort zone.
Exactly. Push the limits a little bit and let them have some fun.
And back to you. Friend.
Friend, like to me, especially the friends that I have, it's an extension of your family. It's the people that you choose to have in your life that mean something to you. It's people that bring something different. Like each friendship is unique. Like we've got our friendship that's been lifelong, and then we've got Miss Emma, who's one of our volunteers. She's off the cameras. They're friends that we've, met through dance, and that friendship has grown to be like a family situation as well. Like she's like a niece to me. So friends are people that you choose to have in your life that mean a lot to you and bring something different and provide you with different things. Like, you might have your friend that's a little more adventurous that you want to go on and do water sports with, and then you might have your friend that's a little shyer and wants to do things like going to the movies or whatever. So it's people that help you feel complete in your life.
100% with you there. So back to you, Rainy Lake.
Well, you already used the word for that, passion.
Passion.
It is a passion. I mean,
you were telling me something earlier about your end goal.
That you want so much, I can't remember anymore.
But you were talking about that you would like to eventually.
Well, I'd love to have an actual camp out here that we can have day camp where kids can come out, spend the night, learn stuff. If it's as simple as a nature hike, the adaptive sports. Get these people that have been told their whole lives that they can't do this stuff. Like, Rainy Lake is my life. I am a water rat through and through, and every time I step on there, only thing I can think about is who else can I get out here? Who else can I teach? Who else can I show what I love so much? Like, it's sitting in front of these cameras. I can talk about Rainy Lake all night long, but until you're out there, seeing the mermaids, seeing the causeway from underneath it, going under these train bridges, or just seeing the shores, especially come fall, you get the leaves changing color and that. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, and I can totally see it when we went out for a little cruise there earlier. Like, you're just 100% in on it. Eh?
Oh, yeah.
Just devoted. I love that. And I love the idea about the camp, too.
Oh, I honestly think if we could find a place that I could set up a day camp where we could have a cable park, which you don't need a boat then, it's actual cables that are going across. And they pull you, but a cable park for the basic wakeboarders, stuff like that, have the boats going for tubing and wakeboarding as well, but have a beach for the kids to play in, have a little splash park, have a little floating water park for them, I'd love to have a restaurant there where people could actually enjoy.
Take a break and...
We have all the beautiful places on the stateside. We have Shea Island View, Thunderbird, Kell Falls. We don't have any restaurants besides the Rendezvous, and it's beautiful there. But it's nice when you have the destination because you're seeing all the stuff we saw today. You're looking at the shore, you're enjoying the lake, everything else. So it's nice when you're out there as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I still love going to Rendezvous for their wings, but I love the trip to get to places too.
Yeah.
That's half the adventure, right?
That's life. It's both the ride, eh?
Right? Exactly.
So continuing on, I got some quick questions for you, and really you can point or say your names or whatever, but it's just a you or you thing. You guys remember watching the shoe game, being at the wedding?
No.
It's kind of the same. Okay, you know what it is though?
Nope.
Okay, so basically I'm just going to ask a question, and you guys are just going to say who is the most, for the first question, for example, who's the most organized?
Hang on one sec. I'm sorry to say, but we got rain coming. I can smell it coming.
You say you can smell it?
I
Yeah.
can smell it coming. We got rain coming.
Let's rattle through these quick
Actually, I
ones.
can feel
I
it.
feel it.
All right, let's
Let's go through these ones really quick.
Okay.
Who's the most organized?
Him.
Who has the craziest ideas?
That's me.
The most practical?
Me.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm practical.
Easiest going?
Me.
Okay. Worry wart?
Her.
The dreamer?
Me.
Second guesser?
Her.
The face of SWS?
Me.
Okay.
I'm the silent, no one really knows about me partner. Hi,
Well,
everyone.
after this, everyone will know you.
Yeah. What do you want to leave this world with, either through SWS or other initiatives?
Memories.
Memories?
Memories through and through. I love creating memories for people. And I don't care if they remember me. I want them to remember that moment, that moment they achieved something, that moment they looked over at their partner, their friend in a tube and just laughed. Like, it's the memories.
Time together with your friends and your family, and just, like, we're both huge about pictures and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I think, and then the fact that we've both lost our moms just really makes you realize how important memories are to you. So I agree.
So I can tell that there's a lot of sincerity in what you guys are doing here and how you're doing it. So I was just wondering why the adaptive equipment? There must be something underlying there that you're really passionate about with that, because you kind of talked about that earlier, that you had some family or some friends.
I had a cousin that was in a wheelchair. Unfortunately, she passed before I had a chance to get her out. Our boat is being our pontoon boat's being retrofitted for wheelchair accessible. When it's done, we actually have 2 families that will be joining us on the lake with it. My cousins, and then I have a friend in Thunder Bay that her daughter had
Angelman syndrome.
Angelman syndrome, and they're obsessed with water. They have certain disabilities in that, and unfortunately she passed as well. So I'm going to be taking both friends out or both families out, and I hate the word I can't.
Yeah.
The word can't drives me nuts,
Yeah.
especially on my boat. Don't tell me you can't do something, because I will take you out and I'll prove you wrong.
Yeah.
I want, when people come on my boat, I want to say, hey, I'm questionable about this, or I don't know if I can do this. That's fine. Let's talk it through. Let's figure out a way. I'm going to get you out there. We're going to have fun. And unfortunately, these people in a wheelchair, crutches, any of the disabilities out there have always been told they can't. They won't be able to water ski if you're in a wheelchair. You won't be able to. A blind person can't water ski. I've witnessed they can. I've seen people with Down syndrome water skiing and tubing and having a great time. I've seen. I have a friend that's actually paralyzed from the chest down. And he competes in water skiing, slalom skiing. Like,
You know, that's actually something I really admire about what you're doing, because you guys could just easily just have the boat and do regular water skiing,
No.
wakeboarding. But no, you chose because you want everybody to be involved in this. You want to actually make a difference. You're like, in this new age of inclusion, you know, the world's getting more and more of this pushed out there, but I think you're right on the 8 ball.
well,
Like,
our thing is no one left behind. We don't care what the issue is. Talk to us. I love problem solving. I love challenges. I don't like the word disabled even. I like challenge, because challenges can be overcome. And I love a challenge. I love sitting there figuring out how we're going to make this happen, but I want to make it happen.
okay.
And I
think you will.
I am an early childhood educator and a resource teacher, and I also took the PSW course. So for 18 years, I've worked with children and work with children on like the spectrum or with cerebral palsy and all of these things. And you see the families shy away from certain activities because of the child's behaviors or the fact that, you know, this child can't participate in the same activities that the other children can. So water is a huge therapeutic entity. So like anyone on the spectrum, anyone who's had a brain injury, just the sensation of being on the water, in the water, feeling that sun, it's just a huge sensory experience for everyone. So the fact, like I said, like part of the resource teacher is inclusive and adaptive programming. So to be able to bring that to the water, because the beaches and the docking systems are huge barriers. And if we can remove those barriers and give everyone the chance to be in the water or around the water, because you see so many kids sitting on the shore just watching, wishing they could, and we want to help everyone make that reality, and as a family as well, so everyone can be on the pontoon boat, or everybody can be in the boat, so nobody's left on the shore just to be a spectator. So
That's awesome.
Hi, I'm Hannah Anderson. I'm going in to record a song with MJ Interactive once again. When I go in there, Mav makes it so easy, and he just makes I feel so comfortable there. So usually what happens is I message Mav, and then I tell him about the song that I want to do, and he says his input on it, and then we agree on what we think will be good. I usually take a week to practice to make sure that it's clean and sharp before I come into the studio and record with Maverick. I tried recording by myself at home, but it never worked out. I wanted it more done professionally, like Maverick does it. I'm not really afraid to make any mistakes because I know that they can easily be fixed by Maverick. The best part of this all is sharing the music with everyone. Sometimes it's done the night of. It started with one recording, and then I've been back several times after.
To book studio time with MJ Interactive, call now 705-557-9894. That's 705-557-9894. MJ Interactive. Make your vision a reality. Today, you have the opportunity to make the easiest $50 you've ever made. I'm Maverick Judson, the creative director at MJ Interactive. We're in the event planning industry, and although wedding season may be coming to a close, booking season has just begun. That's right, we're already booking into next year. You probably think I'm yanking your chain, but I'm actually about to upset the cash money to pocket lint ratio in your pants. Hear me out for a second. Each and every one of us has got a friend or a friend of a friend who's got a wedding or a big event coming up in the next year. All I'm asking of you is to set us up. Talk your friends into sending MJ Interactive a Facebook or Instagram message. Introduce us in your own way. Hello. Tag us if you need to. I don't really care how you do it, because in the end, if your lead results in a sale, I'll be stroking you a fat one for 50 bones anyway. It's simple. You supply the leads, I supply the dough. There's no limit on the number of leads I'll reward. By the way, he didn't have a lead, he just delivered a pizza to my place. So, at any rate, tell your friends we do it all. From party tents, to DJ services and live sound, photography and videography, MCing and everything else. Get one price, one person to handle it all. Forget the headaches. We're the pros. Guaranteed value for your money and mega savings when you do it the right way. That's with us. You're gonna need that wedding card clout for the honeymoon. Here it is. It's all yours. Come get it. What are you waiting for?
It's inspiring too. It makes me rethink everything that I'm doing. You make me feel really selfish.
No, it's nothing about that. It's just anyone that knows me, I'll talk your ear off about water sports.
Mm-hmm. I noticed.
I'm obsessed. I'm not even passionate about it. I'm obsessed with it. Mm-hmm. And that drive drives me to get everyone out there. Like, it's...
And just to give everybody an idea, we went on, how long boat ride? 20 minutes, 25 minutes, or something like that. And in that time, like, I've met Mar once at a wedding.
My cousin's
And this
wedding.
guy knows me very little. And I started asking him because my dad had bought some Sea-Doos, and we took him out this weekend, and we were having a little bit of trouble with it. This guy's offered up his weekend, and he said that he'll take him out with me, and he'll look him over. He's also a mechanic, if you didn't know already, at West End there. But I barely know this guy, and he's offering his weekend up to help me fix my dad's Sea-Doos. And you know, we just barely know each other. We kind of are really just officially met today.
I love helping anyone out with anything I can.
So that's the kind of people you're getting here when you shop with SWS. It's a shame that everything's slowed right down this summer too with the COVID stuff. It's really hurting everybody in the tourism stuff business. So
I'm really feeling bad for a lot of the businesses around here because I know they're in the same boat we are. But I also know they're like us and pushing forward and coming up with new ideas how to get around stuff. And if they need help, don't hesitate to message me. I'll help them out any way I can. But like, the COVID actually helped us get further with the adaptive sports than we probably would have if we were running, because we would be busy on the lake. But it gave us the time to actually contact people down in Florida, Saskatoon, Southern Ontario, everywhere, to find equipment, find used equipment, new equipment, so we can make this happen this year.
But we have the time to do the bottle drive. Like, we're doing a bottle drive to raise money
I've seen
for
that.
the adaptive water sports.
And this town has been amazing with it. Like, absolutely amazing. I can't say enough about this town, how much they've gone behind us and supported us with it. Like, the families that have contacted us, the people just saying it's an amazing idea and they're happy with it.
But if it wasn't for COVID, we would be busy on the lake, but we wouldn't, I don't think we'd have the opportunity to branch out like we are this year, and the time to be able to make phone calls and do all this stuff we're doing. And you got to find the silver lining in things, right? The rainbow, like we found earlier, but you have to find the positive in things. And I think that's something that we were always really trying to focus on, is the silver lining and trying to make the best of a bad situation and help people in the process. So
awesome. I love it. I love the vision. I love all of it. I hate doing this, speeding this interview up, because we're getting little droplets of rain here for those of you who can't see. But we will move along here.
It's time for the Memory Vault, brought to you by the kind folks at MJ Interactive. Send us your home videos, whether it's VHS, 8mm tapes, or a film reel. Let us convert them into a modern digital format. No more eaten tapes. Stop rewinding, minimize your storage, and make unlimited copies at a low cost. Call or text 705-557-9894. That's 705-557-9894.
Next part of my show segment is I like to show a clip from your memory, so I kind of creeped your Facebook a little bit. And I found something. It's nothing. I always make sure I choose nothing that's going to embarrass people, unless it's somebody I know really well.
He doesn't embarrass easily.
No, I'm very...
If you found something, that would have been...
So, this is the clip that I found.
Oh, Florida. This was an amazing part.
And the reason that I chose that clip is because I'd never seen anything like that before, and there's probably some. So could you explain for those listening on the podcast what I just showed you there? What is that?
That is a cable park down in Orlando, Florida. It's WOWC. If I'm correct, I do apologize if I messed that up. I went down there. Actually, my family and friends amazingly all chipped in and sent me down to a buddy's wakeboard camp down there, the boarding school with Travis Moy. I got to ride with Jeff Langley, a bunch of pro riders, and study with them. And it was an amazing experience. And I had some extra time, so I went down to the cable park to check it out. And seeing these, I watched a kid that was probably about 5 years old doing insane things on the rails and on the kickers. And it's like, it just inspired me that much more to even get younger kids out. Like I told you.
So what is there, like a motor in the center of this?
There's a big electric motor and there's a cable that goes around, and there's handles every, I'm probably getting this wrong, I think it's every 30 feet. And they get towed around. It's a track. Think of it as a track, and there's rails, there's kickers, there's just plain water if you want to do backflips, whatever you want to do.
What's a kicker?
A kicker is a ramp. It's think of it kind of like a half pipe, but without the complete half pipe. It's just a little kicker off it. But I went down there and I spent, I bet you 4 hours just watching kids ride around. Like
Did you go on it?
I was going to. I was going to rent a board and ride and that, but I was enjoying it so much. There was actually one kid that walked up to me and asked me if I was riding. I said, no. Talked to him for a little bit, and I said, I noticed while you're out there, he was actually pulling the handle a little too low, and he kept on catching edge and flipping down, so I helped him out. But it was an amazing experience, and I wouldn't have had that without my family and friends. Like I love that video. I love anything down there. It was so amazing.
Okay, so where do you guys see SWS in 10 years? What's the best case scenario?
Our camp.
Camp?
Our camp.
Yeah, camp out in Rainy Lake.
Yeah. People can come up and spend a week with us or however long and take classes, and they can stay in the cabins, and we can have the meals, and we can do the summer camps, and we can do all of the programming up there. And
I'd love to get buses going every day. So if kids want to come up for the morning, they can come up for the morning. They want to come up for the day, great. Say dad gets off work at noon and wants to jump on the bus or drive up with their kids and spend the afternoon, come on up. Like I want our camp. I want Fort Frances to be that destination town where everyone in town loves it, and people from out of town come here just to experience it as well.
You know what I noticed since the start of this interview? One thing hasn't been mentioned once, and that's money.
No.
Not once have we said, have you guys spoken any bit about money, finance, nothing. So this is all passion.
Yeah.
It's what you want to do, and that's all that matters, hey?
There's times where we, like, because people will pay cash or whatever, and so we take them out and whatever, and at the end I'm like, hey, like, thanks for for coming, have a great day, and they're like, well, don't I pay you? I'm like, oh, right, we charge people for this.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're just having such a good time that you completely forget that they pay us.
And so many of our groups include us in the moments that we do forget that we're getting paid to be out there. And a lot of times I feel bad that we got fuel, we got insurance, yada yada.
Yeah.
But I feel bad charging because we're having just as good a time as they are. Like it's. Again,
that's amazing.
When you're passionate, it's hard not to enjoy it out there.
If we won the lottery, everything would be free.
So when somebody books you guys, who are your typical customers? Are they a lot of locals, or mostly
We've
tourists?
had a lot of locals. We've had family reunions up here that were from all over the world come up. We actually had a couple of years ago a family from Hibbing contact us about coming up. We're going to be traveling. We want to hit Kenora. We do go to Rainy River for the railroad days. We're going to go with Thunder Bay, Dryden, any lake in between. So if someone's in between anywhere here, give us a shout and we'll come to you. We'll bring the equipment. We'll bring the boat.
So like weekend package or like a week, or how do you guys do that?
Yeah, we have different prices depending on what people are looking for, but we also have the flexibility. So if someone wants to kind of create their own package, it might take us like a little bit to kind of figure out what they want to do, because some people, we have somebody who wants to book us for like an 8-hour day, and they want some tubing, they want Sandpoint for a while, they just want a boat. So we try to design packages based on what people want, because we want to give them the most bang for their buck, right? So to have like set prices, it's kind of tricky when people realize what we offer, then they want to do it all. You try and then you have to explain to people that things take time. Like we had one person that's like, there's like 20 of us, we want to go tubing for like an hour, and like they're gonna get like a 2-minute ride. And I'm not trying to sell you on more, but you need more time because each ride's like 10 minutes and then crossover time. So
when I looked at your boat, it kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, she's pretty.
It's like buying a small house.
It is. It's actually
worth more
buying
than
a
my
house.
And with this kind of, I imagine it's just like anything else. The sky's the limit to what you can spend.
Oh yeah, you can spend $750,000 to $1 million. If we had an unlimited budget, the boats, I'd actually cut down the budget and buy a couple boats so I could have multiple groups out there, so there's more people enjoying the lake. But yeah, it's the options on these boats are insane. Like ours has a hot shower. It has heaters on board. The storage is insane. We can put 2,500 pounds of water.
Did you just say your boat has a shower?
Yes.
Off the
Yeah,
bat.
hot water. So
It's
when
like a hose.
so say Rainy Lake's always cold, almost always cold. You put on a wetsuit, you fill it up with hot water, jump in the lake, you're nice and
It
warm.
keeps your core temperature up. It's the weirdest sensation because you're in the cold lake and then you're filling your wetsuit with hot water, and so your core stays nice and warm to keep
Yeah.
your body temperature up. But then
Wow.
your hands and feet are still
Did
cold.
you say a change station too on this boat?
Well, not this
really.
one. The X45, I believe it is, has a full washroom on board, a sink, everything else. So you can get these with heated seats. The options are endless.
Wow.
But it's all about
Yeah, oh yeah.
But you pay, like, you spend the money on this equipment that, like I said, like in the boat, like we had the conversation, do we really need this boat? Like, and Mara's like, no, we do. Like,
Imagine
because-
that was conversation went back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
Well, when you spend that kind of money, yeah, but
you
you
need
can
it.
ask her, any equipment we buy, I do insane amount of research on it to make sure it is going to, number one, suit us.
Yeah.
Number two, be efficient. Number three, last the long term, because the cheaper we can keep our prices, the happier I am, because that means more people can join us. So I try to keep the prices as low as possible so we can keep anyone
Yeah.
going, right?
Yeah.
Like we're set up with Jumpstart, but there's only so much different businesses can do. Like ideally, I'd love to pay off the business and start having once a week a free day that we pick 5 random people that can do a video, write a paragraph, whatever, and we pick 5 random people or whatever and hit the lake once a day. If I had the money, I want everyone to enjoy it. I don't want it to be about the cash. I want,
It's got to be done the right way, or else it's probably just not worth it to you.
well, that's just it, right?
Yeah.
Like I do snow removal in the wintertime, and I pick a random house every time I go out and just I'll clear the driveway. I don't stop to say anything. I don't want any payment. I don't want them to say thank you. I just want them when they wake up to notice that it's done, and that's what I want on the lake as well. I want people
Except
to
we want
be
them
able
to be
go.
awake when they're on the. We don't just want to
Yeah,
like.
yeah, no, I want them to be able to enjoy
Yeah.
what we enjoy, and I want to keep it for anyone and everyone out there. So,
We're just about done here. So,
The nervous ones, and you're like, it's fine. We'll keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sun showers.
so how can people help you out right now? And do you like more clients or
more
funding
clients. We
or
got the ball drive
any
still
other initiatives?
going. We've done Sensi, we've done Epicure. We're going to be rotating through all these vendors. Have been
Essential Oils is actually starting today as a fundraiser. So
Yeah, we have all these different vendors that are getting a hold of us, which is amazing. We have a GoFundMe page, or they can also just donate money. Any money donated is going to Adaptive Sports. And then what we want to do is we want to get enough money every year that we can actually have kids sponsored for the year to start from nothing and start wakeboarding or surfing,
cost
whatever
to
they
them.
want with no cost.
100%.
And if anyone has, a cabin or resort they would like to donate to us, we are
We won't
more than
complain.
willing to
Yeah,
accept
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, right on. So what I'll do then is I'll throw up your guys' website, or along with any other information on any other initiatives you guys are a part of and
Awesome,
trying to
thank
raise
you.
money. And that'll be all. So thank you guys for your
Awesome,
time.
thank you
And let's,
for your time.
let's try to get out of the rain.
Sounds great.
That was well put. I put my best foot forward, so I'm next up. I'm about to put my city on the map, homie. I ain't never slack. When I blow up, I'll be ready for it. Yeah.
All my life, just wanted to be like them. I never could settle or meet in the middle. Couldn't find my way, but that's okay, 'cause I'm on another